Welcome back. I hope you had fun making your blobs or scribbles, whatever you did. If you haven't done that yet, that's the beauty of these videos online. You can work at your own pace and be a few days behind, and you always have something to do. So like I said, I'm gonna teach you just some techniques of adding some details to turn these blobs into birds. And so I've got my blobs, and then I just have a collection of whatever supplies I have on hand. I have ink pens, a click pen, pencil. I've got a white gel pen, colored pencils, just to use to add the bird-like features. So it's always a good idea if you're not quite bird, bird familiar. You're always welcome to kind of browse and look at pictures of birds and get inspiration. But when I look at these, you can do the old turn the page around if you need to. That's always an option. But I first know that birds have some sort of a beak. So I'm just kind of looking at these guys. I'm going to start with this one for some reason because I feel like I can naturally just put a beak here and I can make it as big or as little as I want. And then I want this bird to have a belly, and I am just deciding in the moment of what bird features I'm going to add and what makes sense. And I'll probably outline this. This looks like a nice place for a wing. Maybe this is the tail, and I can go in and add more detail, scribbles. Some birds have features on their bellies. Maybe they have an eye patch, like a parrot. Color in, but you get to decide what these species of birds are going to be like. I'm gonna go in with my white gel pen. Maybe pop that. If you don't have a white gel pen, if maybe you have gouache, or again, you can cut more paper and put it on top and glue it. There really are no rules. And then maybe I'll add some more lines. All these little lines, again, I love the details that these little lines can add to these little birdies. So that's with the pen. Now I can go in with my colored pencils and add some color over the top of these blobs. Maybe I'll turn this into some blue. Maybe some blue down here. And again, I'm just having fun. I'm just creating. I have this rainbow pencil, which I never know what color will show up. Give it a little twist. All right, on to the next. Let's do this scribble guy. So this one, I'm just gonna pick up a black pen. So this one's more of a challenge. This one had a nice wing type shape to it, but this one, not so much. Now think back to our paper scrap birds. Same thing. Sometimes you have to force the beak somewhere. So I'm just gonna force it somewhere. And once you get the beak in a place, then we can make the bird. Maybe it goes like this. That's the tail feather. It's standing. There we go. I'm gonna scribble in some markings on its wing. Maybe do some lines down here. And if I want, I can actually go in with some colored pencils and do coloring of a beak. I can layer my colored pencils just like we did paints. We add a little bit of orange on top. Bottom beak is gonna be a little bit darker for the shade. I can go in and again add some colored pencil over the top of the scribble. It will make the color pop if you want to fill this in a little bit more once you have your bird shape. Again, no rules. And I'm thinking I'm going to add some white markings to this one. It's kind of looking like maybe some sort of a species of a cardinal. But who knows? Okay, on to the next. Let's look at, now this one I'm gonna have these ones, you know, that profile, that left or right profile is pretty easy, but what if I did a beak that it's facing in on itself? And then I put eyes there. So try to challenge yourself. I mean, already these can be a bit challenging. But see if you can get these to look in different directions. It's a nice fluffy one. And I think I want this one to have some dots on it. And I'm gonna shade with some colored pencil right where the wing and the head meet a little bit, and maybe along the side of the body. Maybe a little bit on the head, maybe down below here. And I can take another one and go over the top and blend and smooth out that colored pencil. You can also use watercolor paints, crayons. That's something I should pull out on one of these. I'm sure a lot of you have some, maybe some of you have some crayons laying around. Maybe not. And let's give this one some flair. I'm gonna put some orange or just red at the tips of its wings there. And maybe give it some type of matching marking on its head. Now you can go into as much detail as you want. You can go back over and say, you know what, this guy needs more little markings. Have fun. Sometimes I like to put dots to ground the birds or some type of markings down there. So they're standing amongst bird seed. Please post what your before and after. I will continue to work on mine and post the rest of what I turn these into. Please ask me questions along the way. And if there's something you want me to demonstrate, reach out. But I'm looking forward to seeing what you will do with your blobs. All right, I will see you soon.